Konnichiwa minna-san, Gitsapalooza ni yokoso.
Hello everyone and welcome to Gitsapalooza. Today my son Carl and I are going to play a Bushido game. This mission is called Seikyu and it involves 3 4-inch diameter objectives in the center. Otherwise it's pretty straightforward. It's just you score the objectives on turns 2, 4, and 6 and you will be resetting after turn 2 and after turn 4. So it's a 100 rice game. I am taking an alpha list, but not one of the lists you guys are used to seeing. Since I run all the little tournaments, I always have to put together a list in case I have to do some of the buys. And so I'm looking for something that is fun for me to run, but is not going to demoralize my opponent at the same time, even though in Bushido, if you have a buy, the points you get for the buy are set. So in essence, you get 7 points, which is equivalent to a 2-1 victory. So there's the table, and there's my son Carl. Say hi, Carl. Hey. There he is, and looking like a gangsta. And the Christmas gangsta, my son Carl. And today we have a treat. One of the things I asked for Christmas was a gimbal for my phone. So I have this gimbal. Now I can move it around and everything's nice and smooth. I can pan it by just turning my wrist and making it go left and right. Come on, go right. Oh, there we go. It's excited about going left. And then I can use a little thumb switch to pan up and down. So pretty cool. I'll be back in a minute with the armies and then we'll get rolling. Okay, I've just been reprimanded by the boy that I mispronounced the name. It's Seikyu, not whatever I said during the introduction. So I'll tell you what, why don't we take a look at my army. So this is 100 rice of alphas. And it's, you know, it's just not all that complicated. I have Zuba, and I have Ushi, and lastly, I have Yusha, and then I added a dog. Now, when I played this in the tournament the last time, so that's the Kaihei Alpha, I had Jun, and then I also had 2 other Oni slaves, and that was fine, but I think it just, I don't know. So I thought I would try it. I mean, it's nice to have those 2 extra people to manipulate objectives. However, the alpha can manipulate objectives. It does not have that problem. And it's a much better fighter. And it has its own benefits and bonuses. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm just curious. Oh, look at that. It snaps in. I didn't do that. The phone did that all by itself. Nice. Nice. So there's Zuba. All right. There's Ushi. So I usually run Ushi when I run these 2. He's got Obey, which is great. I don't use Dominate that often, but Obey is really handy. And of course, for a 22-point Oni, Yusha's pretty darn good. He functions. Oh, look at that! Look at that! All these new toys. There we go. He's not bad. Oh, and we just lost the gimbal. Just gave up. It's like, all right, hold on. Anyway, so enough of my blathering. Let us go on. So as far as cards go, I have Hotai's Coin and Spirit of the Consumed on Zuba. Zuba has the Spirit of the Consumed. It basically gives him 1 extra key stat, so he's got a key stat of 3. And the reason I do that is it allows me to do his Future Sight ability, which basically gives me Tactician and takes it away from my opponent, while still allowing me to slowly build key up in the background, because that takes 2. So basically I can do Future Sight and I get an extra key per turn to save up for when I need it, maybe for combat or whatever. And then he has Hodai's Coin, primarily because of throwing his mallet, and proning people is a really important use for Zuba. And Hotai's coin allows me to reroll 1, so it gives me a better chance of succeeding in that throw. Ushi's on his own, and then I gave Vial of Rage's Breath to Yusha, which can make him a flying Oni, which is just hilarious. People don't expect, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition or a flying Oni. So that's fun. And so that's about it. I do have rice ball barricades, so I'm using that as a rice ball barricade until I get to the point where I can, actually I have some on order. They are coming in, but they're not in yet. And then I have running Alpha's theme. So anyway, that was a long explanation for a very small army. So I'll be back in a minute with Carl's army. All right, here's Carl's army. And I'm going to let Carl go through it and describe what he's got.
So this is the theme I'm using is Serpent's Coil. It doesn't have any requirements, which is nice. Though it doesn't do much, it just gives me a couple extra Blood of Orochi tokens if I do some stuff throughout the game. Aside from that, I've got my 2 most expensive fighters in the Ito faction, so Yatsumata and Itsunagi. I needed something to fight the Oni. I've got 2 Psychers. I've got Mizuki and Kinu. Kinu has this nasty poison ability which can hit a bunch of models. And Mizuki has got some things like Hypnotic Gaze and Paralyze, so she's good for tying up enemy models. And then I've got an Archer / kind of lightweight Samurai, which I thought would be good for running around and shooting big targets.
All right, and so this comes out to 100 even, Carl, or do you have cards?
100 even, no cards. I thought when I counted up the models and they came out that way, I was like, well, I'm not going to mess with that.
All right, sounds good. We'll be back after deployment. All right, we are back from deployment. And as you can see, I won the deployment roll. So we have whoever wins the deployment roll get to decide who actually gets to go first. So I made Carl go first. So as you can see, put Yatsumata and the gal, the snake charmer over there. On this side, Yatsumata can move through difficult terrain without a problem. So he's got a straight path to that objective. I took my rice bale barricade and blocked that off at least a little bit. And then the rest of Carl's guys are back in the corner. And then on my side, I decided to do the old student body left thing so I could avoid some of his nasties, including the archer, who will play havoc with my big Oni, because I'll be giving up 2 columns, basically, just because I'm on large bases. So I've got the dog and Yusha, who is plays well with animals, over here on the left, and Zuba and Ushi in the center, with Jun kind of shadowing them. So it should be pretty interesting. Carl, why don't we make a roll to see who gets to decide who goes first? Ty.
You've got Tactician.
No, I don't actually. Oh. I have to spend key on that, so I can't have Tactician turn 1. So Carl's got a 1. I've got a 1. If we tie again, we flip a coin. All right, 5. So I win the roll. So I will have Carl do his thing. I will let him take the first turn, and we'll see how it goes. We will be back at the end of turn 1. Here we are at the end of turn 1. Both armies have moved forward aggressively. You can see the Ito clan have taken over this area uncontested, the same way that my dog took over this area uncontested. Yusha's kind of stuck in the water. These guys are all moved to the center. However, the giant snake is definitely getting the better of poor Ushi's got shot and got bit and got poisoned multiple times, and so Ushi's on half wounds and has another a couple of poison markers to go. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, to be honest, but we'll give it a shot and we'll see. So right now, however, I've got two objectives to Carl's 1, so I am up 4-2, and that is all she wrote. We will see you guys at the end of the next turn. All right, end of turn 3. Things are going very well for Ito clan. As you can see, I am missing a couple of models. The archer over there shot at Zuba and would have done a ton of damage, so I sacrificed my slave Jun to protect him. But then the snake held Ushi, and then Itsunagi came up and killed him, and then the snake held Zuba after Zuba did do some decent damage to the snake, but then the snake held him. And of course the Medusa over here has been stunning everyone. So basically all of Carl's tricks have worked and my tricks have not worked. Not that I have tricks, but basically brute force has not worked, and all the Ito tricks are doing great. So even though I have taken the first point, I had 8 scenario points at the end of turn 2 to Carl's 2. The fact is that my army is mostly dead. So we will keep going here, but I would be shocked to at least not be one more model down at the end of the next turn, if not more. So we'll give it a shot. Carl, why don't we roll to see who goes first? We haven't keyed up yet, but I will, out of desperation, spend 2 of Zuba's key that he will be getting in order to give myself an extra roll. And I win, so I will be going first at the beginning of turn 3, and we'll see how it goes from there. Here we are at the end of turn 3. I only have Yusha left. Everything else, Zuba had like 5 poison markers. He was stunned, he was held, got shot in the back a couple of times. It just, the dog, tried to wear out Itsunagi, and he wore him out, but died in the process. So anyway, so we're at the end of turn 3, and I am pretty much over as far as the game goes. However, I have 1 character left, so we're going to keep playing. There's no question that Ito has had a very good day. This little army is loaded with gimmicks and tricks. Itsunagi is one of those models like Hagane, where no matter what you do, it's wrong, because he's got offensive tricks and defensive tricks, both of which can be lethal. And so no matter what you do, it's the wrong thing. But Carl's used his army very well, taking advantage of all of his abilities, and my big galooks have just kind of been their punching bags for the day. So that's okay. That happens. In any case, so Carl's now up for the second point, 2-0, and we'll see if Yusha can do anything. So we'll give it another shot. End of turn 4. So things are thinning out a little bit. I have been not having the greatest luck in combat. However, I must admit that Yusha here has been doing really well. He charged, the last turn I didn't mention it, but he charged the Medusa that was over here and killed her. And then this last turn, he charged the archer that was over here and killed her. But in the meantime, Carl's taking it a little easy on me. He could have charged me with Itsunagi, but he decided to give me a break. So Carl's got these 2 objectives. So he's clearly up by this. He's up 4-2. So there's my little 2 points. I just barely got on there. And there's our score. So Carl had a total of 6, and then to my 2. So he got the second victory point. So right now we're tied 1-1. I have 1 victory point. He has 1 victory point. And then, so at the next turn, we are going to, zero those out, and we'll see if I can somehow steal victory away from him at the end here. Carl, why don't we roll to see who gets next turn? All right, I get to go first next turn, so this should be amusing. I'll be back with you guys in a little bit, and we'll see how things have gone. Alrighty, here we are at the end of turn 5. I'm still live, giving it the old college try. It's probably just a little too late. So I had Yusha walk into combat with Itsunagi, who is surviving because Itsunagi is doing everything he can not to kill me, which would end the game prematurely. Next turn, he can gleefully kill me. But as you can see, he's got the big snake over there, he's got the sorceress over there, and Itsunagi and I are splitting the difference. So he's up 4-0 for the last victory point. So we're gonna play it out and just for fun and see where it goes. Even though it looks like it's gonna be a pretty clear, solid 2-1 Ito victory. So let me see if I can get the camera to roll around. There we are. All right, we're gonna do our roll for first turn. Carl gets a 6 to my 5, so it is going to be Ito's turn. You know what? I'm just going to stand here and hold the camera. What the heck? Because there's not going to be a lot that I'm going to be involved in. So, Carl, why don't you just key up
with the whacking commence
and let the whacking commence, and just see if you. Just see if you can pound Yusha into dust.
So now I've officially scored enough points to kill you because it's turn 6.
Yep.
So Yatsumata is going to charge Yusha and I believe surprise him.
Yes.
And I believe outnumber him.
No.
No, he's indomitable?
Yes, indomitable 1.
Right. I've got 2.
I am going to do Oni Rage.
Is that an instant?
Yeah, well, technically, yeah, I do it when I was keying up.
Right.
I have to look up. Oh, darn it! Now I have to turn the camera off. All right, I won't do Oni Rage because I don't want to have to look it up.
Right.
So it would help me. I think it would just get me an extra key or something like that. So
you're down to 2 dice.
So I'm down to 2 dice. And who am I fighting? The snake, which always goes first.
The snake, which always goes first. Yes.
I'm gonna buy an extra die.
Right.
With my last 3 key. And
any special attack or defense?
No.
Grapple attack 0.
All right.
4 attack.
So he's got 4 attack. I've got 2 defense, 1 attack.
Ooh, not great. But I've got feint 1, so I'm gonna feint your 6.
Which 6?
Your 6 on defense.
Okay. All right. This is actually working out better with the gimbal. Honestly, I've done this before. So I'm at a 6 total. You're at a 6 total.
Yep, and then I rolled more die.
No, but the ones don't count. It's more dice that they do not count.
Okay.
Ones definitely do not. When you're adding up die, if you read it, it says that whoever rolls the most dice that are not ones.
Right.
So I hit you on the 6.
Yeah, you hit me on the 6.
Oh, this is going to be sweet. So I get 3 dice because I'm strong. So strong, for those of you who don't know, allow you to roll an extra dice for damage, and then you pick the highest 2. So in this case, and then I don't have a big strength bonus, but I have a +1 strength bonus. So I get 12.
Which will kill the
12 on the 6 is kill the snake. So now Yusha, it's sorry, camera's going berserk. So he's Yusha the Vindictive. I'm going to start calling him Yusha the Magnificent because he has now killed 3 models on this army, and he still has an activation left, which is pretty amazing. So, oh, there goes the camera again. So the batteries are wearing out. This is what happens. Well, wait a minute. Maybe if I hold it straight up. The gimbal does not like to be held with the handle pointing forward. It starts to go loopy.
So it is your turn?
So it is my turn. All right. So I will...
Oh, wait. Never mind. Yep. You're good.
Okay. So this is Yusha the Magnificent is going to try to clean house, to make one last heroic stand against your guy.
Right.
So I have 3 dice.
Yep.
You have 4.
Yep.
I have no key because I spent all my key on the last one.
Right.
Are you automatically going first?
I mean, I am because I'm.
Well, what's that?
I'm activating, so I'm going first.
No, it's my activation.
Oh, it is your activation.
All right, the camera's giving out. The gimbal's giving out. Hold on. So we're just going to have to hold it the old-fashioned way. There we go. Yeah.
2 key for parry 1.
All right.
Special attack defenses.
No.
Counter strike defense 0.
All right, all attack. He's going all defense. I have 12. I have 6, 7.
6, 7, 8 plus 1. So 7, 8, 9 is my defense to your 7 on the attack.
Okay.
So
Actually, I'm an 8 on attack because of, but it's still enough.
All right.
So nothing happens.
Nope. And now it's my turn. So you're down to 2.
I'm down to 2 what?
2 dice because you're exhausted.
Oh, right.
My turn.
I thought I'd warn you out.
Nope.
Okay, I'm down to 2 dice. You've got your dice already. I'm just going to pick, so I don't care if he sees me. Ah, dang, stupid gimbal. Come on, hang in there, guys. We're almost there. All right, so I'm just going to pick 2 defense. Now, this is the weird thing about Itsunagi, because it almost doesn't matter what I pick, it's going to be wrong. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take 1-on-1, just for giggles. So no matter what fancy trick he has, at least I have something for it.
Combo attack 0, 4 attack.
All right. See, this is what I mean about there's nothing you can do. Or he could throw all of his dice into defense and still kill me.
I'll reroll that. So, I have 5, 6, 7 to your
6.
And then I've got brutal 1 because I threw all my dice into attack. So
okay.
I've got 6, 7, 8 to your 6. So I get you on the 2.
All right.
Which is 12 on the 2.
Okay.
Is 5 damage.
5 damage. It's reduced to 4.
And then you're poisoned.
All right.
Hit you on the 0. Oops. So, 10.
On the 0 would be 1.
Yep.
But toughness takes that up. So I'm not.
You'll kill Itsunagi with the
5.
Yep.
All right. So Yusha the Magnificent here. Even though I'm going to lose this game 2-1, because there's nothing I can do about it, because he's ahead of me, and even though we're splitting, it's going to be 6-2. So he's going to get the third objective point. Yusha has killed every model in Carl's army that's dead. And the rest of my army did absolutely nothing. So Yusha the Vindictive is now and forever will be Yusha the Magnificent. Because, he just is. Carl, thank you for the game.
No, thank you.
Sorry, I have to do left-handed handshake because I'm holding this stupid camera. It's the gaming thing. Very good army, very fun. I loved all the tricks, and a lot of them worked. So you can't really argue with that. You have any comments about your army? We had talked off camera about the mistake I made, which is I should have charged his sorceress with the dog way back when everything was. Hold on, I'm just going to shut this gimbal off because it's not working anymore. Okay, there we go. The dog was over here, and this sorceress was over in the back, and I should have gone that way with the dog rather than going this way to just kind of uselessly support Ushi, because Ushi was going to die anyway, or Zuba, whoever was over there. I think it was Zuba. Which would have changed things, because she did quite a bit of damage. She threw a spell that stunned and poisoned 2 out of my 3 last guys. So, but aside from that, Yusha was magnificent in spite of the loss. So anyway, so Carl, what do you got? Any comments about your army, or?
It was just, the fun thing about turn 6, when you know how the game's going to end, is that you can just suicide your models into other people's models, and it's something I've done before. I'll definitely do it again because it's definitely entertaining.
Yeah, I was really hoping he was going to forget that he shouldn't kill me, but he remembered it. I was like, well,
lost too many times
because I could tie this game if Yusha dies now, the game would be a tie 1-1. But unfortunately, it's not. So it's a solid victory for Carl. It'd be worth 7 tournament points for him. It'd be worth 3 tournament points for me. But it's better than a sharp stick in the eye, so I'll take it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the game. It was pretty entertaining, in spite of the fact that things looked like they were going horribly bad. But Yusha just was tough, rolled well. He's a solid Oni for 22 points, and he rolled well. So. It's got to happen once in a while. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It was nice to hang out after Christmas. You see the beautiful job my wife has done on the Christmas tree. Look at all that, all the way up to the ceiling. She insists on buying. We measure the Christmas tree down to the inch so we can get the biggest Christmas tree that will fit in this room. And it's after Christmas, of course, and the tree's sort of decorated, mostly decorated, fully decorated on top, kind of half decorated on the bottom. There are still piles of ornaments all over the room, but at least this table's free, so we could play some Bushido. And I'm sure Carl and I will have more games while he's home. So there'll be a lot of entries here pretty quick. So we will. You guys take care of yourselves. I hope you had a good Christmas if you celebrated, and we will see you next time on Gitsapalooza.